Um, Hassan spoke to the niece of the New Orleans attacker. I kind of really wanted to see this.
And yes, before you ask, we did
I
verify.
can't wait for fucking all of the Hassan derangement syndrome YouTubers to make a video about how he's championing killing civilians because he talked to somebody's niece. And actually, that niece, a Houthi terrorist. Not such a cute interview anymore, is it? Hmm? Hmm? No, I will not elaborate. No, I will not provide evidence. Mm-mm.
Ahead of time.
I'm sure Ethan Klein's already working on it still.
She sent us photos of them together. All right. We have Bra Babe here. Bra Babe is the niece of the NOLA attacker, and I wanted to hear a little bit more, whatever you want to reveal about the background of the person who you're related to.
Yes. So, um, he is the brother of my dad, and my parents actually separated when I was really young. So I'm not super close to that side of the family, but we do share a name. Um, when I would visit in the summers, super, super normal. Like, he was actually like the uncle that I would look forward to seeing.
Wait, hold on. Can you hear me?
For him and my dad and their other brother playing GTA, and he was the only one that would let me play with them. Um, he was goofy, um, super sweet, um, and I never knew him to be anyone capable of doing something like this. Yes, GTA.
So the question I have is, we looked at the background of Jabbar extensively on the broadcast yesterday. I think you saw some of our coverage. The LinkedIn profile
Yes.
was revealed. It showed that like he extensively worked in in the military. He served
Mm-hmm.
in Afghanistan. He toured in Afghanistan. He came back and he was doing IT work, I believe, for the
Yes.
military.
Yes.
Okay.
I knew him to be someone who knew a lot about like computers and kind of a nerd in that way.
Mm-hmm. And he also did some
Um,
HR work as well.
yes.
Okay, so there has got to be a point of divergence. So as far as his like background goes, he was, I believe, divorced once and then got remarried.
Yes.
Okay, so he was divorced once and he got remarried. Does he have kids
Yes.
from the first wife or the second wife?
First.
Okay, and what is the so from the first wife he had kids. What is the extent of like what is his ethnic background? Because I'm a little confused. Is he like where is he
Yeah,
from?
that's part of what is kind of confusing about this because he obviously has a very ethnic name. Shamsuddin is what we would call him, and
Yeah.
I
Well,
very ethnic name as well. It's very yeah, and Jabbar, we share that. So does my dad and their other brother. However, I think one of them is actually one of my uncles is like a half brother. And their stepdad was the one who was Muslim, and he's the one who kind of named everyone. So I always um, kind of associated the family with Islam, but like no one practiced it.
okay. Yeah, it seems
Like
like
everyone's super Christian in the family, but we have super Muslim names. But there are some Muslim family members. But like
mhm.
I've never seen anyone with a Quran. No one's ever gone to a mosque or whatever. Um, so the religious aspect of it is a little um, weird for me too, being a frequent victim of Islamophobia. When I'm like, dude, I was raised Catholic. Like, it's just my name. But I'm sure
Yeah.
that's not helping.
So so Shamsuddin was also he was not like he was not you're saying he was not raised Muslim.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. And not only to your knowledge, not only was he most likely not raised Muslim, but also there were some people. I believe that it was. Was he still with his second wife recently, or
I
had
do
he
not
separate?
believe so.
So he had also separated from his second wife. Okay, because his second wife, there were some people that reached out to the second wife, and the second wife's partner said something along the lines of like how he had actually exhibited weird behavior and that he had like recently converted to
Mhm.
Islam.
Yes, so that was probably around the time period where he started acting um, erratic, I guess. But I believe even at that time, it might have been at the very beginning, like when the family's mostly Christian and or agnostic, and then someone starts talking about the Quran, the other family members are kind of like, what the fuck? Um, so I think that might have been the beginning impression of that. Um, like I don't think it was 0 to 100. Um,
Okay.
I also know around this time, me and his daughter, because I don't talk to my dad either, just because he's a narcissist and annoying. But me and Shamsuddin's daughter had actually bonded about not talking to our dads at some point.
That's interesting. So he was also, but that his daughter from his first marriage. He didn't have children from his second marriage, right? Hello?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
it was buffering. Not that I know of.
okay, so you're talking to your cousin, Shamsuddin's
Hmm.
daughter.
If I mean, I assume that Hassan did his due diligence on this person. If the attacker in New Orleans, if he actually was like a US born citizen, raised Christian, and just happens to have a brown name, he is like the image of assimilation. Raised Christian, born in the US, spoke like basically an American, like a Southerner, mild Southern accent. Yeah, he had mods verify. Yeah, I trust that they verified. Was in the US military and then decided to kill people before he went out. Like that is peak American assimilation. You did it. You did it. The only reason that people are saying this is migrants is because he happens to be brown, which is insane. It's like actually crazy.
Daughter from his first marriage, and
Hmm.
and she's telling you that her father has started acting differently, acting strange, and this happened. Do you have an exact timeline, if you don't mind me
This was
asking?
probably honestly around 2020, I believe.
Oh, so this. Oh, he started talking. He started behaving differently in 2020. Was there like a pivotal moment in his life in this time frame? Is this like? Is this after?
There's,
Is this after the first? Like, was he married to a second wife at that point?
I believe it was after the second wife had separated.
Oh, okay.
I think your analysis of um, the narrative of him being a divorced dad and having all that stress and the money stress um, is the actual. cause of the issues, and then you just needed some sort of like scapegoat, I guess, or some reason to be so drastic.
Yeah. So, I guess the question I have is like, what's interesting about it is that there's videos of
Hmm.
Shamsuddin online from his real estate job. I believe
Yes.
as recent as like 2020 or 2021, or at least he has posts on Twitter as
Yes.
recently as 2021,
Hmm.
where his social media footprint is not strange at all. It doesn't have
No,
any of the
it's not.
markers of like a person on the throes of radicalization. Um, he just looks like a very competent, normal, if not somewhat kind individual, which is unique
Yes.
because when you compare it to like when you compare this to the Christmas market attack, which was fairly similar
Hmm.
to the NOLA attack. That person had an extensive social media footprint. Was a person who was in these right wing circles. Was this He had demonstrated militancy. He was saying a lot of radical things, but also saying a lot of insane things that weren't even like political in
Yeah.
general. Oftentimes, he said a lot of radical things in the political sphere, but there's very clearly something wrong with him. Whereas Shamsuddin did not demonstrate any of that, at least on his social media. But you're saying that as early as 2020, there was a little bit of a separation, and there was an attitude change from him after
Can you
the
still hear me?
separation of his second marriage.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you again now.
Okay.
I had a connection error. I still have the
Yeah,
alert thing,
it's
but I think
cutting in and
it's
out, but it's
okay.
okay. So you're saying that I'm going to repeat the question. You're saying that there was in spite of the lack of like oddities or weirdness on his social media profiles, he started acting strange, at least with his family, uh, ar- around the time of his separation in his second marriage.
Yes. And um I'd clarify of um like bonding with me and his daughter over not talking to our dads was kind of more like similar issues, like normal issues, not he was acting so weird and so extreme, that he was saying all this outlandish stuff and that's why she wasn't talking to him, but
Oh,
more
okay.
so just, oh, my dad's being a dick or he's being annoying, more like that.
Okay. Um. All right. That makes sense.
So I think as far as like a point of radicalization, I think that was um, very recent.
Okay. Um. So it seems like he became more. Maybe he became more isolated. Do you know when the last time your cousin talked to her dad?
I am not sure.
Okay. When was the last time you talked to him or saw him or
Um,
heard of him at all?
my Well, actually, I don't know if it's revealing too much about myself, but I'm also in real estate. So he kind of helped me with the licensing process and where to go and how to pay your dues and all that sort of stuff. So
When was that? If you don't mind me asking.
around 2020 as well,
Oh, okay. And he
and
didn't.
nothing odd.
And he
Yeah,
didn't seem odd at all when you last talked to
nope,
him.
not at all.
Okay. I mean, 5 years is a very long time for a lot
Yeah,
of things to change, especially because like there's the COVID lockdowns and whatnot, and the isolation that came. Uh, the isolation that happened. A lot of people dramatically changed their lives during that time frame. So that's somewhat understandable.
Sorry, I'll put some text on the screen. I see a lot of people asking. Um,
But overall, you're saying that he was, at least when you were growing up, uh, his profile was of a kind man
Very, very much so.
with no indications that he might have. I mean, you're not a healthcare specialist, obviously, so this is not a professional estimation, but no indications like he wasn't. Did he ever talk about like having PTSD or anything like that?
Never. I think the Afghanistan tour has been brought up a few times, but I don't believe he was like combat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think even after, yeah, because it was when he came back from that and some time had passed that he got into the real estate and property management stuff.
Did he
Um,
did he ever talk about his experience at Fort Bragg at all, or no?
no,
Okay.
not to me at least.
Um. I hope. I mean, how's your family doing?
Oh, Mayor Cat,
I know
hi.
this is a weird question to ask, but you know, this is.
I'm I'm doing
Come here.
okay. I obviously had to speak with the FBI earlier. Um, but like I said, my parents separated when I was young, so I'm not super close with that side of the family, but I am close with my grandma, who's his mom,
Mm-hmm.
and his daughters. So it's more my personal pain right now is knowing that they're going through that and they might never, well, they can't even rest, right? Because it's 24/7 news. There's no like getting away from it and processing it on your own. Um, just knowing that they're going through that. And then I also have, as I'm on a live Twitch chat, like security concerns as far as possible like Islamophobic blowback, especially when I don't believe that that was the main component of this attack.
Yeah. Some of the reports on this. Some of the reports on this from CNN, which I'm sure you've probably seen, has shown that he had recorded himself and he had posted on his Facebook. I don't know if you saw those Facebook posts or not. I don't know if you have Facebook
Which
still, but it seems that he was posting videos of himself, especially on his way to New Orleans from Texas, where he talked about. I'm sorry to bring this up,
oh,
and this is a little heavy, but
I'm
rounding up
okay.
his family and potentially killing them, but then
Yes.
chose to join the Islamic State, ISIS, and he had also printed out an ISIS flag,
Hmm.
which he hung upside down. If that was something that was on his mind, it seems like it would be something that he would have at least like not revealed to his family, his immediate family members, but at the very least, like they would have gotten an indication that he was clearly mentally unwell to
Not
that
doing, yeah.
degree.
I think he was sort of
Wait, you're cutting out. Can you hear me? I think there's connection issues. Yeah, I didn't hear anything from your answer, but you heard my question, right?
yes, that you would expect some signs. Um, as far as I know, he could have been self isolating leading up to the event. Um, I would expect my relatives that I do talk to, like my grandma, who's his mom, to tell me of.
Tell you of what?
Is Hassan saying, why didn't you stop him? No, I think he's saying, like, were there even any signs of, like, him deciding to go in this direction?
Hello? I lost you again. Can you hear me
Because we
now?
weren't.
Oh yeah. So hold on. Sorry,
Yes.
you got cut out until you said talking
Sorry.
to his mother, your grandmother.
Yes, I would have expected her to clue me in on that because I don't live with them. So he very well could have been showing signs, and I don't think he lived with her. So as he continuously self isolated, it could have gotten worse and worse. But if he was, showing signs of something so grave as that, that I would expect to be told about that.
Yeah. So there was some talks about his trips to Egypt and whatnot. Do you have any idea on that? I mean, or
I
was it just for fun?
I do not have an idea of that. I am inclined to believe that they were just for fun. I think
Yeah.
one anchor said that um, I wouldn't be surprised if his trip to Canada had more influence on him than his trip to Egypt. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm likened to believe the same.
Yeah. So there was that, and then the other question was about financial troubles. At
hmm
what point did his financial troubles start, to the best of your knowledge?
Um, there, it could have been shortly after the first divorce, when like child support became an issue. That's kind
Mm-hmm.
of a trend in the family, unfortunately.
Okay. And then there's like a potential for piling on, and then the second divorce as well.
And I know when he became a realtor, he was also a property manager, and he was actually reaching out to me to see if I wanted to work with him in some capacity because he knew I was getting my real estate license. Um, so he was looking into me doing like some sort of administrative stuff and training me to like write articles for like blog posts and stuff. Um, but at that time, which is around 2020, um, I get the impression that he was sort of diving into real estate as an agent, but also as a property manager, while also trying to like have side hustles, like trying a lot of different things at once, and failures from multiple of those could have piled on.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, thank you so much, bro, babe. Is there anything else that
Thank you.
I haven't asked that you wanna bring forward?
No, just that he was, a super normal guy. He was
Yeah.
a super sweet, and like none of us expected this.
Yeah, it seems. I mean, even like I said, his social media profile, or like the information that we saw of him from now deleted, YouTube posts and things of that nature, did not
hmm
show did not show the usual trajectory. Uh, like, but they might have been, they might have been a couple years in the past. So at that point, it's just
I
like,
always had the impression of him being from my dad and his siblings. I always had the impression.
wait, can you hear me? Uh, Hello, hello.
No, come back. Come back to
I
us.
lost you again.
Yeah, this is just like bad internet, unfortunately.
Can you hear me?
Probably like a laptop or something.
Oh, wait, you're back. Okay, I can hear you now.
Um,
You said, yeah, I don't. What do we leave it at? Chat.
um, I was saying my impression of him
Yeah.
was that he was always like the um, put together one, the one who kind of went for different professional endeavors, always dressed nice, always goofy, always super sweet. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little surreal.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much
A lot
for
surreal.
thank you so much for coming on.
Of course.
Um, I hope things look better for you.
We're
And
trying. But thank you.
all right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
That was Bruh Babe 11, the niece of the Nola attacker, Shamsuddin Jabbar. And yes, before you ask, we did verify ahead of time. She sent us photos of them together. Yeah, family photos. He was not a Trump supporter to my knowledge, by the way. Oh, that's a good. Thank you for that. I forgot to ask that. I tuned in a little late. What does she suspect was the reason he got radicalized, or was he just normal and crashed out suddenly? The suspicion is, again, none of us are professionals, but the suspicion is that it was the financial complications that came from the first divorce with like child payments and whatnot, and then the second separation from his second wife. The second separation from his second wife was like the seemingly trigger point that like around 2020 when he had his second separation. That's when he started not behaving in like an erratic manner or anything, but basically it seems like there was a point of isolation.
Oh, that's an interesting cut. Yeah, I mean, it's I hate to say this, but like unfortunately, it does feel like the story with these things is always the same. Where it's like, yeah, I didn't really expect this. Yeah, I thought that it was fine and normal, and then it wasn't, which is just like, yeah. Mental health is so fucked. I mean, it's so fucked up because there is such a strong temptation for me to blame the internet and be like, yeah, the internet's definitely making everything really bad as well. But like on a personal level, it's so annoying because the internet has only ever been a positive addition in my life. But it feels like for most people, the internet is like just not good, which is really frustrating. Do normal things when you self-isolate and get really into editing Star Wars Wikipedia pages. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. Denims, I don't know how positive League of Legends can be. No, I don't think so. Oh man. Can you imagine living your life not knowing what a Twitch streamer is? Oh, dude, that would be good. That would be good living. Honestly, I would settle for not knowing what kick streamers are. That would be enough for me, I think. I'd be satisfied with that. Man, yeah. Yeah. It's kind of crazy that for both of the New Year's attacks, we don't know motivations for either of the, I guess, like perpetrators. It feels crazy that it's been this many days and we still don't know, which like I'm sorry to be this tinfoily, but it does make me feel like I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if some government bodies saw how much support Luigi got and are currently actively trying their best to not publish any details about the attackers. Did you see what the Tesla guy's family said about him? Basically, the explosives he had were amateurish and he would have had better bombs, insane shit. I mean, yeah, they said that he was like Green Beret, like, and the bombs he had were like pretty dog shit for what he was doing. Yeah, sorry, this post. Donald Trump posting, Trump was right about everything. And then Elon Musk posting the 100 emoji. Incredible. Just some good stuff happening here on the internet. Sometimes you just gotta pass the blunt to the realest one you know. Sometimes I FaceTime with myself just to hear what a real one gotta say. Oh.